Hello, fellow Radio Workflow users. I'm Shane, and if you don't know me, I am one of the developers here at Radio Workflow. Now, the goal of today's video is to take you through how to set up a new account inside Radio Workflow, then proceed on to adding a contract, and then proceed on to adding a production order. So it is very simple, and once you understand the flow, it's very easy for you to do. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is just make sure that the account is not already in the system. If we don't do this step, we could end up with duplicate accounts, which we don't really want to do. Okay, so if we go over here to account lookup and then type in the account name, so in this case, it's going to be a McDonald's. So what we can actually see is that we don't have McDonald's New Jersey. So let's add them into the system. So to do that, we go up here to the plus sign. Now, anytime you need to add anything in the Radio Workflow, the plus sign is pretty much the place you want to go. It does have the option to add in most things. Okay, so what we want to do now is click on account, and that'll open up the new account form. And inside here, we want to type in our account name. So that'll be McDonald's. And we're going to add in New Jersey there as well, so we get a good result set. And what we want to do now is click on the result here that we want from Google. Now, if it doesn't come up, then you can simply type in the account name. You don't have to select one from Google, but the benefit of selecting the result from Google is if we actually come down here to account, you will notice that most of the information here is actually pre-filled in for us, and we can override that information if we need to. But you will also notice under primary contact, if it has an account, phone number or website linked into that Google result, then it'll automatically come over with it. And then we select the account type. So in this case, it's going to be gold, and they are an advertiser. Then we have some other information down here as well, such as the agency. If you do have an agency that you want to link up to this advertiser, then you can do that here. And you can also enter in the commission rate. The primary contact for the account. So any information or any emails that you send out in bulk, such as invoices, statements, will go to this primary contact. We can also set up a secondary contact by adding a contact, which I'll show you how to do at a later date. Then we come down here to location. And as we can see, most of that information is filled in. Any billing settings that we want to assign, such as billing tags, do we want to charge finance fees, the payment terms for this particular account. The billing name, you generally want to leave blank unless you want to essentially override this name on their invoice. So we're going to leave that blank. And then also you got the EDI numbers and the QuickBook IDs there as well, if you're using those systems. Then we can add in any tags. So tags are a way to segregate your accounts and run filters and stuff over those particular accounts to find them easier. And then we've also got traffic settings, additional owners, and the option there to email times as well. So if your client wants to receive times on a daily basis, then you can enter in their name and email address. And then what actually happens is when you build your logs each day, Radio Workflow will email them with all the times that their commercials are going to run for the following day. So then we hit create, and that's going to create our new account. So now that we have our new account in the system, we can now move on to adding a contract. So we click on new contract by using the plus sign, and then we type in the account name. So obviously that's going to be McDonald's, the account that we just created. Then we auto generate a contract number, and just so you know what the contract number actually stands for, then we can see here we've got con for contract, new for our market, that's the first 3 letters of our market, EJ is my initials, Evan Jacobs, and then whatever number we're up to. So it'll be 71 in this case. And then we're going to enter in a description. So let's just say, for example, that this particular client wants to run some commercials in April. So we're going to say April campaign. So it's important to kind of make sure that this particular field is fairly descriptive, because we do refer to it as essentially the description throughout the system. So try and make sure it is as descriptive as possible. And then we enter in our product. And then we also select our revenue type. So in this case, it's going to be rate, volume, agreement, and cash. So you can actually customize these to be whatever you want them to be as well. And then also, if we do have a PO or estimate number, we can enter that in there as well. Next is our traffic settings. So our invoice type, our tax, if we do need to apply a tax, our product or clash codes, and then our spot separation. So in this case, it's going to be 25 minutes. So we want to make sure that when these spots are scheduled, they're separated on the log by at least 25 minutes. And then we've got our associations. So if we need to assign an agency, then we can do that. And we can enter in obviously a commission rate for them as well. Also, we can assign an account rep and a commission. We can also add in a discount, a trade credit, and a prepayment discount. Now, one question I do get asked quite a bit is what a prepayment discount is. And that is just simply a way for you to actually offer the client a certain discount if they prepay the contract. So if, let's just say you're entering 10% there, and you have also the payment gateway set up inside Radio Workflow, what happens is when they actually sign the contract, it says, you can save, 10% on this contract if you actually prepay it right now. And it has like a pay now link for them to actually pay it. When they pay it, it goes into the system automatically as a payment. And also the 10% credit is added into the system as well to be applied to the invoice. And then we have any invoice notes that you wish to include actually on the invoice. And then we hit create. That's going to now create our contract and redirect us to it. So now what we want to do is make sure that we add in a schedule for it. Okay, so we can do this by adding in basically any number of packages. So we can see here that if we click on add another package, we'll have the option to add in, 2 packages. So at the moment, we're adding in 1 package and it's going to be a custom package. Then we select the date that we want this particular package to run on air. So it'll start actually, let's make it start so it matches the description. We're going to make it start on April 1st and it's going to end on April 30th. It's going to run on, let's just say, these 2 particular stations. It's going to be a calendar month billing. And the billing type is going to be rate and volume. We can also make it level package. What that does is it charges a certain amount per month. Okay, and then we can also choose variant package if we want to as well. And that allows us to enter in billing for each specific month. Okay, so what we're going to do is leave it on rate and volume. And then we're going to come down here to schedule type. Schedule type is a way for you to choose how you want to edit, how you want to enter the contract. Do you want to do it as a detailed week by week, a cascading week, or a cascading weekly buy? A detailed week by week simply gives us each week off to the right-hand side here, and we can actually enter in a schedule for each one of those weeks simply by switching between them. But what we want to do is create what we call a cascading week. And a cascading week gives you 1 week and as the name implies, it cascades to all weeks. Okay, so when we fill out 1 week, we're actually filling out all weeks. You can also drill down further on that as well by applying active weeks. So let's just say, for example, we want to create a custom kind of rotation in regards to weeks. Then what we can do is select custom, and then we select our custom weeks up here. We just deselect any weeks we don't want it to wear and then hit save. Okay, so we're going to run some spots in the 24-hour day part. So it's just very simply, we select this particular day part here. Then we choose our spot type. So it's going to be spot in this case, and then our length. So it's going to be 30 seconds in length. And then our rate. If we do have a rate for each specific station, then we can click on the music icon here. It'll open up multi-rate, and then we can enter in a rate for each actual individual station. So we'll say 15 on 102.3 and 20 on 104.1. And then we enter in how many spots they're going to get on each station throughout the day in this particular day part on each day. So we've got 3 days, so that equals 21 units in total for each week that it goes to air. Now, if we do need to add in a custom time range, then we can do that by adding a subline. So if we click on the add subline, then we can simply enter in our day part, 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. We select our type. So let's just say for this case, it's going to be some bonus spots. They're going to be 30 seconds. The rate is going to be nothing, and they get 1 per day. Okay, so that's 7 in total. So there we go. That's our first package. As I was saying, if we do need to add in a second package, then we can come up here and click on add another package. We can also copy this particular package to a new package. So to make the process a bit quicker, let's do that. Copy to a new package. Okay, so now that we've done that, you'll notice that we actually have two packages here. So our first package and then our second package. So we do have our second package open at the moment. And let's just say, for example, and this particular one is only going to run for the last week of April. We're going to select our custom weeks and just make sure that both weeks there are selected. And then we're going to just make some minor changes. Nothing too drastic. Okay, so now that we've added in our second package, let's scroll up here and click on preview, and then we're going to choose weekly summary. Generally, you're going to want the weekly summary version of it. And this is our contract that we just built. So we can see we've got our contract here, our contract number, our product, our revenue type, when it was last revised, and the actual description there as well, the client, and then obviously the station over here as well. So if we scroll down here, we can see that the custom package 1 is entered in there. And then we've got our custom package 2. The second one that we created is there. Now, you'll notice how obviously with the first one, we did have custom weeks. So our run weeks are as defined. And then obviously because we had multi-rate selected, it has broken out each station onto 2 separate lines there. If we scroll down, there's our projected billing and our contract terms and conditions under that. All right, so the next step is obviously to send this to the client or mark it as signed. Okay, so marking it as signed allows you to basically tell the system that this particular contract has actually been signed. So what we recommend is if you do that, then to upload a copy of the signed contract into files here. So let's just mark it as signed, and we're going to say it was signed by Jack Zermatt. So we can see now that we've told the system that it's been signed, we do have a few new options down here in regards to copy assignment. So what we want to do now is add in our copy for this particular contract. So to do that, we're going to add in a new copy rotation. So we click on add rotation, and then we're going to enter in a description for it. So it's going to be April campaign for the production order. And then we're going to send the production order to production. Once we hit create, that's going to then add our new rotation into the list here. So we're going to select that copy rotation for that particular package. And then we're going to scroll down and select it for this one too. So now that we've assigned copy rotations to each one of those particular packages, what we're going to do is open up the project. So now that we have the project open, we can start entering in our copy information. So we click on the plus sign here, and then we enter in a spot title. So let's just say this one's going to be spot 1. Then we choose a production type. So it's going to be new commercial. And then we enter in a product description, on sale. And then we're going to choose a length, a rotation, assign a copy ID, enter a due date, enter the start date on air, the end date on air, and then we're going to select the station that this particular spot's going to go to air on. Then we have some further restrictions down here as well. So we can restrict this particular spot by day part and also by spot type. So then we hit create, and that creates our new spot into the rotation. So now what we want to do is add in a second spot as well. So we click on the plus sign. We're going to give it the spot title spot 2. So you can think of spot titles as essentially ISCII codes or ad IDs or key numbers, depending on where you are in the world. Now, one thing that you can do is actually copy information from the other line. So to do that, all we do is come up here and go copy from another line, and then choose that particular spot. And we will notice, obviously, then most of the information is actually filled in for us, and then we can come in here and make any minor changes that we want to make. So it's going to be pretty much the same. The only thing we're actually going to change is just the date that this particular spot actually goes to air. So we're only going to allow this particular one to go to air on the last day of the month, because it's going to say on sale today version. And then we're going to come down here and click on create. So now we can see that we have our 2 spots in rotation here. We've got it assigned to our contract. And now what we want to do is actually upload the audio into it as well. So to do that, we click on the plus sign here and it opens up what we call the asset container. And inside the asset container, you can have the script. You can also have the media as well. So to add the script in, we just scroll down and click on and enter the script. This is my script. And you'll notice that as we actually type in the script, then off to the right-hand side here, it's actually given us a word count on how many words are actually in this particular script and how long it goes for. Now we can also put in production or directions as well in brackets. Make it sound great, or perhaps even some sound effects. Okay, and you'll notice that as we typed in that information, that the word count over here didn't actually update. So that's to try and give you a realistic expectation on how long that this particular spot is actually going to take to read. So once we have done that, we come up here and click on save, and that's going to save our script. And now we want to add in some audio to it as well. So we click on media, and then we're going to upload the audio. So we click on upload. Now I am hoping that I do have a audio file on hand that I can quickly upload, and I do. That is awesome. And then we click on upload here, and that's going to upload our audio for us. So there we go. Once our audio is uploaded, then obviously you will see it appear on the screen here for you. So you can actually play it, listen to it. You can also add in EOM and intro markers if you need to as well. So now that we've added in our audio, then obviously everything is pretty much complete at this stage. So we've done our contract, we've added in our copy rotation, we've also assigned audio for it as well. And also this particular production order, we can see is in production as well. So there we go. That is pretty much it from adding a new account, adding a contract, and also adding your copy rotation as well. Now, if you do have any questions, then please reach out to us here at Radio Workflow. And also don't forget to subscribe and also bang the bell to get notifications about when we upload new training videos onto this channel. Thank you and have a great day.